Good evening, Drew.
Ugh, we're running out of time, buddy.
I know. I might have a solution for that. Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
I see that's on the
Uh
list.
huh. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, we're running out of time
Well.
in every
Yeah.
sense of the words. I wasn't just
Yeah.
talking about Skype, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. How are
fuck.
you? How's everything?
Well, everything sucks, but I try to keep it together. Try to keep a smile on the face. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So we didn't record last week, right?
We did not. No.
Yeah. I had to
You were
travel
you were
again.
traveling.
Ugh.
Yep.
Ugh, man.
Mhm.
Chicago this time. I drove this time.
Okay.
It was fine. It's not a bad
Chicago.
drive.
Chicago.
Oh, man, but I got to tell you, I almost fucked up so bad.
Okay.
All right. Paul, what's one thing you know about me?
Just one.
That's right. I'm a truck guy.
How could I forget? So did you drive your truck?
I did.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. The places that I have to be when I go to Chicago are usually right in downtown Chicago. Now, this particular trip, I drove not just because, gestures at airports, but
Yeah.
but I really had a really interesting travel schedule that was very fluid. And it required me to spend the first part of my trip in downtown Chicago. But then I had to go out to the suburbs of West Chicago for a different meeting. And after that, I then had to take another conference call that was variable in length. So when I was planning this trip, part of the reason I drove was I really didn't have any idea when I could actually leave that Thursday. So I left on a Tuesday. I came back on a Thursday. I got up super early Tuesday morning. I drove there and I came home Thursday night. I got home right before midnight because I didn't leave Chicago until, I don't know, 5 o'clock, 5.5 hour drive. You gain an hour, stop for gas and food. Okay. Now, the first part of my trip was going to be in downtown Chicago. Now, I don't know if you know this, Paul, but not a lot of places to park on the street in Chicago.
No. Famously, yes.
Famously.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are several parking garages in the vicinity of where I like to stay in Chicago. So, what was suggested to me was a website called Spot Hero.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
I am not.
Okay. So, if you go to Spot Hero... Oh, no, what did you drop?
Just a fidget spinner. Honestly, it's scattered. It's somewhere.
Okay,
the room.
I didn't realize I was boring you so much that you needed to occupy yourself.
I just have too much stuff within reach on my desk, and I can't help myself. Okay, Spot Hero. Okay, where am I going?
Yeah.
I'm going to Chicago.
Yeah, so type in book parking near and type in Virgin Hotel Chicago.
Okay.
And it should come up as like North Wabash Ave, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
And then you update your search, you pick your days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Find parking spots. It's find it. Oh,
Yep.
look at that. Okay.
Yeah. So then you do like your start date. So let's say we were going to go tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let's see here. First of all, click off full month, do multiple days. So just do like tomorrow. Like, let's say you were going to go tomorrow and you were going to leave Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you say, what time do you plan on getting there? It doesn't have to be exact. Like if I say 9 a.m. And then let's say I'm going to get out of the garage by like 6 p.m. the following day.
So many parking spaces. Look at all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one closest to the hotel there is, I could book it right now.
You could.
For $49. Now, this is a really interesting business model because all of these garages are operated separately. Like there's different conglomerations and really what they're basically parking cartels that manage these different that manage these different things. But in this golden age of information technology that we live in, the whole idea is that you go through Spot Hero, and by the way, they're not the only one in this market. You can go directly to the owner of this garage conglomerate and do the same thing. But I'm sure it's all APIs all the way down. But anyway, you basically say, hey, here's what I need. Here's what I'm willing to pay. You pay, and then you get basically a QR code that when you roll up to the garage, you hold the QR code in front of the scanner and it lets you in. And it basically also holds a spot for you. So
Yeah. Okay.
You're basically guaranteed to have a parking spot. And there's a ton of garages around here, but I wanted to be close to where I was actually going to be. So I'm like, hey, I have been to this hotel probably a half dozen times in the past year. I know there's a garage on the same fucking block. I'm going to book that garage. So like when you click book now, or actually, no, don't click book now. If you click on details for 60 East Lake Street,
Yeah.
it basically tells you like, hey, it's touchless, it's self-park, the facility is open 24/7. Does it offer in and out privileges? Like it gives you all the vital info right there.
Yeah, even a phone number to call if things are going bad. Yeah.
Yeah, if things don't go well.
And the height restriction. That's important.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
I didn't see that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I book all this and that goes all So okay. Before we go there though, I didn't see that. I didn't see that when I did the booking. Height restriction 6 feet. Now, when you do, like, I can like sign into my account on Spot Hero because, of course, I registered an account for this. So I have, because I plan on using them again. It was actually, I mean, aside from what I'm about to tell you, a very, very good experience. You have to like add your vehicle. So you pick your vehicle, and it's like it tells you, oh yeah, you'll fit fine. So I didn't think anything of it. So I get up super early last Tuesday. I drive to Chicago. I get to this garage, and I'm pulling in. And as I'm pulling in, it has one of those bars,
Yeah.
The hang downs.
If you
it
hit
says
this,
like,
you're gonna have a problem bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking smacked right into it.
Uh-oh. Fuck.
But there was also a car behind me, and I'm like, all right, well, this is my life now. So
Oh no.
I started driving up, and the roof got real low real quick.
Oh no.
And every time I would turn, and again, height restrictions aside, like my truck's a decent size.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty tight garage. So very, very tight U-turns to sort of move up and down through the garage. So I'm driving, and every time I come to a low thing, I slow down to a crawl, and I'm just waiting it to hit the satellite antenna or just totally grind the paint off the top of my roof. And I keep going. And first of all, there's no spots. It's only like 5 levels tall. There's no spots until I get to the roof. So I get all the way to the roof without a problem, and I park. And then all I could think about for the next 3 days is, am I going to be able to get out?
Yeah.
So the first day I was there, I was super busy. I got back to the hotel kind of late after mandatory fun and drinks and everything. And I was laying in bed, trying to sleep, worrying about it. It was like 2 a.m. and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to fucking sleep unless I go figure this out. So I get out of bed, I get dressed, I go down to the garage. My code, like it has a fully secure lobby. You have to scan the same code to get in. I go up to the roof, I get in my truck, and I'm like, okay, here's the plan, Drew. We're going to ride this down in neutral, going super slow. The garage was almost practically empty at that hour. I was going to bring my truck down as low as I could go and figure out if I'm going to be able to get out of here without a problem. Now, let me be clear. I have generalized anxiety. I have a lot of anxiety. This doesn't help.
Yeah.
And I tried everything. I tried calling Spot Hero customer service, who gave me a garage number to call that no one answered. There was another number outside the garage that was different than the one Spot Hero gave me that also nobody answered. So this was like, so I started playing the scenario in my head that was basically, if I wedge my truck
then what?
between, now what? Like, what happens in that scenario? Do they get a tow truck that somehow fits in that garage to then pull me out? Do I beg other people to basically push my truck
Yeah.
out of the
Yeah. What
garage.
do you do?
And I'm more worried about the sheer embarrassment and hassle that this is going to
Oh,
incur, to
yeah.
say
That,
nothing of
that
the body work or
yeah,
anything else
that's a
that's going to
phone
have to
call
happen.
you're not
Yeah.
not very excited to make. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, being put in this scenario as I'm looking at all these low overhangs that I have to maneuver my truck through, clearly this has happened already because there are chunks of concrete missing. There are scrapes on the roof.
Oh.
I'm not the first person that this happens to, but that does not excuse this behavior.
No. No.
Okay. So I get in my truck. It's 2 a.m. It's dark. Garage is lit.
2 a.m. Okay.
There's nobody in the garage. Okay. There's nobody in the garage.
Just you and your
So,
anxiety. Yep.
just me and my anxiety and some steely ass nerves, because we're gonna do this. Now, what I'm noticing, and it wasn't as apparent on the way into the garage, but on the way out. So I don't know how to explain this. So if you stood at the top of the ramp and you look down, the roof beams are not parallel to the route of travel. Does that make sense? The beam.
Yes,
So like,
yes, it does. Yeah.
so like if you take your left hand and you angle it down like it's a ramp that you would drive down, take your right hand and put it perpendicular to that, over it.
Yeah.
That's what you would expect, but really it's kind of rotated 45 degrees and slightly slanted down. So I stand next to my truck and I hold my hand straight up. And my hand extends further than my truck, but I can definitely touch the beam.
Okay.
It's pretty low. And I'm 5'8" in heels, maybe. So I'm like, okay, it clearly looks taller to me. And just my like gorilla math of like running my hand along the beam, it definitely felt like there was more room on the right side of the beam than the left. Now, the other thing I have going for me is there are no cars for me to hit because it's basically empty. There is like 3 other cars in the garage. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to ride this as close to the edge as I can to give me the best chance of getting out of here. So I back my truck up as far as it'll go. I put the truck in neutral and I'm essentially just riding the brake very, very slowly. And again, I'm like leaning forward over my steering wheel, looking up at the ceiling like, okay, this looks good. This looks good. This looks good. Slowly coming down. Okay. No problem. First floor. No problem. Next floor. No problem. Next floor. And then I can see that one more level down is the gate to get out.
Okay. So you're getting some confidence now, right?
I'm getting some confidence. Okay. So then I get to the level right before the gate. And then I realize I fucked up.
Okay.
Because all those spaces on that level are reserved.
Okay.
So now I gotta do this in reverse. I gotta go back up a level in reverse to go back to a level where I can park. So throw it in reverse. And at this point, I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I'm embarrassed. Thank God. I'm sure that the people that reviewed the security cameras of the garage, if that's a thing, are having a really good laugh about this now.
Look at this idiot.
So now, so now I got to back up. Fortunately, I did it.
Okay.
I backed up successfully. I didn't hit any other cars that were still there. I essentially parked in the last possible space on the lowest possible level that wasn't reserved. But I'm not out of the woods yet. So now the area where like you have to go out, where there's a gate where you would scan your pass to get out, that's a little taller than the rest. So I feel good about that. But then there's this super tight, almost 90-degree hairpin small tunnel to get out. But again, I just did the spot check of I stood up and I basically walked the length of that hallway to make sure that it was good. And I was like, okay, I feel better about this. So then I went back to bed, went to my meetings the next day, went back to my truck the next day after that, got in it and got out okay. But that was the single most stressful experience I've ever had in a car, short of the time I was actually in an accident. That was I mean, lesson fucking learned. And there are definitely garages that have much more clearance than that I can find on this site. So let that be a lesson to everybody. Like, that shit matters.
Yeah. Pay attention.
Pay attention. Read everything. Don't be me.
Right.
So yeah, that was the big adventure from Chicago that time. So what do we do when we're stressed, Paul?
Buy stuff?
We buy stuff.
Yeah, we do.
All right. I have a new toy.
Okay.
I bought a new air purifier.
Okay.
What's your stance on these? Do you own any?
I have an air purifier that I run in my office anytime I'm in it, except for the time that I record my podcasts.
Okay.
It's just on pretty much all the time. Yeah.
Is it a smart air purifier?
I mean, define smart. I can control it via the home app and on my computer.
Okay,
I can turn it on and off without having to get up. You know.
Does it report air quality stats?
It does not. It does not.
Okay.
I don't need that.
So my secret fear is I'm breathing bad air.
Okay.
I don't know why. Again, my anxiety is my superpower. I have no idea why I started worrying about that. I spend a lot of time in my basement. There's a crawl space over here. I don't know what kind of air is floating around in there. So I bought an air purifier, and I had one before, but it was old. I think we've had it for a very long time. I don't know. It lights up blue. I don't know.
Link.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, I need to be better about that. Where is our show doc? Okay, so I bought the Blue Air purifier for small rooms, bedroom, home. Cleans 926 square feet in 1 hour. HEPA silent air cleaner for pets, allergens, virus, dust, mold, smoke. Blue Pure 511 Max.
Oh no, Drew. Oh no.
What?
The Amazon page has a big warning. Has a warning.
What does it say?
Frequently returned.
Aha! I'm glad you homed in on that.
Oh
okay.
No. Oh no. Okay.
Yes. Why did I buy this particular cleaner?
I don't know. Why did you buy it?
For two reasons.
One, it's well reviewed, but yet
it's extremely well reviewed.
Returned. I don't get it. Okay, explain this to
me. I want you to just scroll, forget the item description of some of the features right now. I want you to scroll down to some of those reviews.
Okay.
I want you to tell me if you notice anything.
Okay, sophisticated and quiet. I'm going to read the AI summary. Customers find the air purifier effective, working well in large rooms. Okay, blah blah blah. What did they praise its sleek, user-friendly console and affordable filters.
Mm-hmm.
But why do people return it?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
It's an excellent question, Paul.
I see lots of good reviews. Why is it frequently returned?
Because people don't follow directions.
Okay.
So, and it took me a little while to figure this out. So I think I know why people return this, just based on some of the reviews. You need to go pretty deep into the reviews to find it. But if you click on some of the pictures, it doesn't look like there's a lot to this. First of all, I really appreciate the way it looks. I like that fabric cover that goes over it. I imagine that will accumulate filth. It's not going to accumulate hair because I don't have any anymore. But I'm sure that, you have to take that cover off and clean it. And there's replacement filters you can buy and all that other stuff. Now, there are no physical switches on this thing.
Okay, so it's only app controlled.
Well, no. So it's vibes. So
it runs when it wants to.
It can.
Okay.
But there's one button on it. There's one button on the top. It is not tactile. So you press it once and there's like a half-second delay of it turning on. I think people are mostly very impatient and also a little bit dumb. I don't think they know how to turn it on right.
Got it. Okay.
And I'm a smarty pants, and it took me a little while to figure out what's going on. The other thing, too, is that once you link it to the app and put it into automatic mode, you cannot control the fan unless you use the app.
Okay.
But the app is actually pretty cool. So I leave mine running in auto, and according to this app, the Blue Air app, I never have. I'm in the blue zone, which is perfect. I've never seen this bar deviate at all. Okay, I'm gonna admit something. I farted on it.
I was gonna ask.
I farted on it just to see if I could move the needle, and it didn't.
Okay, I was gonna say to just rip one into it.
Yeah, I didn't know how else to test it.
I would have done the same thing. Oh, oh. I would have done the same thing, Drew. Oh,
that's all. That was the number one thing I thought it can do. I mean, it scrubbed my fart because I've been having some trouble. I've been having some trouble, and that motherfucker scrubbed it right out.
Good to know. Good to know. Oh,
yeah, and it's very quiet. So like right now, I have it in fully automatic mode. And the little LED on the front matches the current air quality. So blue is good. So it goes from like blue to green to yellow to red. So the current air quality is basically measured by that little front LED. And it's very inconspicuous. So the air purifier I had before was very plastic, very gray. This fabric cover blends in pretty good with my carpet. It's a little darker than my carpet, but compared to other purifiers we have in the house, because we keep one in the kitchen for all of the stank that happens up there that I don't like. That thing is industrial. Frankly, we need a new one because a lot of the buttons are they don't light up anymore. But I would totally buy a bigger version of these. And this one wasn't cheap for as the size that it is. It's not very big, but it cleans it. I think it could even probably clean the larger part of my basement just fine. But I just have it in my office and I run it a few times a day. It keeps everything nice and crisp down here. I think once the temperature, now it doesn't get that humid in my basement, so it really doesn't get musty in the finished part of my basement.
Okay.
But I think once we start to actually get some warm weather in Ohio, maybe that changes, but it's done a really good job of keeping it fresh down here. And I'm a smelly dude, and it definitely removes the Drew smell from in here.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's app enabled, it's on Wi-Fi because of course. And yeah, the app is pretty good. Oh, maybe I have the child lock on. Maybe that's why I couldn't control it. Huh. I'm going to put it back into auto mode. It tells you your filter lifetime. You could set up smart schedules. I'm sure you could control it with your fancy home automation that you do.
That's not very fancy, but yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So how often do you run yours?
Pretty much I pretty much turn it on right when before I sit down to start working for the day, and I turn it off when I'm done working for the day. So it just runs when I'm in here. Yeah.
Mm. But you wear headphones and listen to music most of the day, right?
I do. It's also
when you're not on Teams.
Yeah, I also leave it very in the lowest mode where it just runs, and it's also strategically close to my turntable with the thought of maybe it would suck some dust and keep it off my record. But,
yeah. Mm-hmm. And your chemicals that you use to clean them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I use distilled water like a fancy joke.
Oh, I thought you had some special scrubby stuff that you used.
Well, I do. Have I talked about my new record? Did I talk about my ultrasonic record cleaner? I had to have.
You did.
Yeah, okay,
you did.
Yeah. There is some surfactant that goes into the water to reduce surfactant that reduces the surface tension. But then you have to rinse it with just distilled water.
Man,
I know.
We talk about so much science here. Really do ourselves a favor. Anyway, yeah, so I bought this and it's doing good. I mean, I would recommend it to people. Yeah, I was also very shocked by that frequently returned thing. And of course, I did research. I went to Consumer Reports and What's Left of the Wirecutter and some other sites. And
yeah,
I don't know. People seem to like this one, and it's doing pretty good.
Cool.
All right, let's talk about your stuff. So hit me with this one.
Okay, so you and I both. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the Sandman. Mm-hmm. And just to put a thing in it, yes, Neil Gaiman has turned out to be a giant piece of shit.
Yeah, he's problematic.
I'm sorry. Yes, it's not good. It's not good. But the Sandman comics are still great. They were making season 2 of the Sandman Netflix show. Before they found out he was a piece of shit, they finished it. they're not making a season 3, so season 2 is the end. But the first trailer has dropped today.
Oh, just today?
Just today.
Oh, wow.
Have you watched it yet?
No, I didn't know.
Okay, so let's just watch it. Just watch it. We'll watch it. We'll watch it together.
All right.
All right. Just let me know when you hit play. I'll drop the audio.
Yeah, I'm playing.
Okay, good.
I summon the family to me. It is I, Destiny of the Endless, who calls you. Brother Dream, will you join us? Sister, Desire.
Oh, there's Desire.
Youngest of the Endless. Come.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
It's me.
It has been centuries since we were all together. It will be interesting to find out why you've called us here. Perhaps for you more than any of us, my brother.
There's Lucifer. I wonder if they'll do the Key to Hell thing here.
I'm guessing they do. I could be wrong. I mean, why else would you have Lucifer?
The Sandman Season 2, Volume 1, and Volume 2, July 24th. So maybe it's like, maybe it's going to be longer than Season 1. Maybe it'll be more episodes.
Yeah, I could be.
Oh, brother, I'm excited for that.
It looks good.
I was just thinking about rereading all of the Sandman comics, honestly.
So the one that comes up melting out of the painting has to be Delirium, right?
Yeah, it's Delirium.
Okay, yeah, all right.
100%.
Yeah.
It's interesting the way that they portray her in Despair.
Yeah.
Like Despair in the comic, I mean, I don't know, they sort of classed her up a little bit here. And Delirium was like way more disheveled, but
I think like they're all in their fancy clothes. Yeah. To
oh,
meet each
true.
other. Yeah.
And Desire. I really like the person they have playing Desire.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be good.
Yep.
Oh, so good.
I'm excited.
So okay, July 3rd. Oh man, that's right when I get back from Europe.
Ooh.
So wait a minute. Volume 1, July 3rd, and then Volume 2, July 24th. Is that so? Do you think they'll release all the episodes of Volume 1, July 3rd? That's only 3 weeks, right?
That's what I'm guessing. That's what I would guess. If they're splitting it into 2 volumes, they'll release everything into the internet. Hold on. Okay. So they're saying Volume 1 is 6 episodes and Volume 2 is 5. So it's 11 episodes total.
Okay. Oh, man. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
God, that was such a good shit the way they did it in season 1. Oh God.
It was really good. Yeah.
I hope they bring that one guy back. His construct.
Oh,
the evil guy.
Yeah. The crap, what is this?
I know, I'm blanking.
Yeah, with the mouth for eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the Manticore. What is it? Fuck. It's driving me crazy.
Hold on. The internet would tell me. Corinthian.
The Corinthian. Yes. I hope they bring him back. Because he does come back.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, spoilers, but whatever. But like, he does come back in the comic. Yeah, I'm hoping this is the Key to Hell saga.
Yeah, I hope that. Yeah, or at least a couple of the episodes or something. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Or do you think it's the Doll's House?
I'm guessing both.
You think?
Yeah.
Do you think they can do both in 11 episodes?
Maybe.
Oof. Okay.
I know. We'll see. We'll find out together. We'll find out together.
I had no idea. This is like the best news I got all day.
Yeah. I just opened up YouTube and the algorithm was like, I bet you'll like this.
I bet you're going to like this,
like,
Paul.
I did. Oh.
All right. I am adding a calendar reminder for this because I cannot wait. I'm almost ready to talk about Severance. I have like 2 more episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. All the travel I did was really fucking up my media consumption.
Damn it. Last of Us season 2 is out too. So, or the first episode at least. So that's up.
And
it's so far so good.
Okay.
Did you play Last of Us Part 2?
I have played neither game.
Okay.
I know what happens in the first one.
Okay.
I am like kind of aware of what happens in the second one. I just know the internet's really mad about it.
The internet can
Capital
right
G
off.
gamers didn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for those of you who have played part 2, I'm pretty sure the thing that happens is going to happen next episode. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think I know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm like very, very kind of aware what happens. And I have this PlayStation 5 here. I should probably just play it.
Yeah, it's good.
Although I think it's out on Steam now too.
It is. Yeah, both part 1 and part 2 are out on. Yeah.
I wonder how those games play with a mouse and keyboard.
It should be just fine. I mean, they're over their shoulder action combat focused games. Like I can't imagine it'd be too bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep churning here. So
Mhm.
you alluded to the fact that you might have a Skype alternative.
Yeah. So it turns out. So we technically use a company called Libsyn to actually host these sweet audio files that you download to your mobile device and listen to.
Very generous of you to say we, but go ahead.
Apparently, Libsyn has a feature because Libsyn is a full service podcasting platform, right? They can do dynamic ad insertion. They can do all kinds of shit.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah. Apparently, they also have what they call Libsyn Connect, which is a web-based recording service. And in theory, it will do the recording for us. Right in the browser, upload it to the internet. For me to pull down and then edit.
Okay, I'm looking at pricing.
Mm-hmm. I'm already paying for it. It's part of what I'm already paying for.
What plan do you have?
I have the advanced.
$20. Dude, you got to let me help you pay for that. Come on, man. That's
okay. Whatever. Sure, I don't care.
That's $240 a year. Think about how much more pizza you could buy and save money on.
I probably could I probably could go down to the plus. There was a point where I was playing around with MP3 like audio quality, like different sizes, and where I ended up, I think I know like I don't have 162 megabytes per month is not enough for our episodes four times a week. But I think now the plus would be, but the plus wouldn't give us the advanced is what has the Connect.
Yeah, I was looking in here. It doesn't tell me which one has that.
It's the advanced. Yeah.
Advanced and higher, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it looks like there's other plans.
Oh yeah, if you have video, it's way more expensive if you do video. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So walk me through this. Like we would log into Libsyn.
Yeah. No. So basically, I would log in and I would create a call, and that would essentially send you a URL to connect, and you would just it would just run inside the browser. And I mean, I'd still want to record the audio like we do now, just in case. But like I said, in theory, it'll do automatically record the audio that's being sent to it and give me each individual track. And that could be great for guests. I'm just saying, guests. They don't have to worry about it. They just come in, call. I get good audio.
How many simultaneous people can be on?
It doesn't seem to have a limit. I can just keep adding email addresses to this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
All
so
right.
We can try it next week and see how it goes.
We can
or not
next
next
week.
or,
no, next week we can. Things are changing.
Okay.
Things are changing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or whenever we record next. How about that? Yeah.
Maybe we'll see if we can get friend of the show Eric Darling to help us really push the boundaries here.
There we go. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He's always up for a good time.
He is,
okay,
absolutely.
I love this idea. I love this idea.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes.
Are you worried about quality with web browser recording versus audio tracks individually?
That's why. So I can get one of the options. So, okay. It will record each of us individually and the combined. So I'll get each individual tracks. I would still want to record how we're recording now, just in case the quality is bad or as a backup or whatever. But yeah, but if we have a guest, I won't have to use my side of the shitty Skype recording anymore, in theory. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's the plan. So for next week's session, I'll get the invite set up.
Yeah.
And then
I'll get the call set up and send that over, and
I'll just get an email, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I think.
All right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I figure we give it a try and see how it goes. And if it sucks, then we'll figure it out from there. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Sold. Good job, Paul. Way to go.
Yay. Yay me.
Yay.
Yay. Oh.
All right. Now you got a couple other things here, and I'm not a real developer, so you're gonna have to explain this to me.
So as you know, I've been working on an app in my spare time, a coffee brewing app. It's going okay. I had a few weeks where I just couldn't, and I just let it sit for a bit, and then I ran into a really, really nasty bug that took days to fucking figure out. It was awful.
Love that.
It was just like I don't I don't understand why this thing is just crashing. And then finally realizing, okay, it's I have to do awful things to my application to get to work. Okay, but across as I'm writing these things, I've come across a couple of very useful applications that I use just about every time I'm sitting down and writing code.
Okay.
The first one is a free app. It is called Interactful. It's a free app on the Apple App Store. And literally all it is. So Apple's most modern and new UI framework is called Swift UI.
Okay.
And the UI framework provides basically building blocks of user interfaces. You have buttons, you have toggles, you have pickers, you have organization, you have scroll, like to put things in a scroll view, you have text fields, you have all kinds of stuff. All Interactful does is basically just have screens of all of them, everything Swift UI can do. You can go into Interactful, see what it looks like, see at least some of the basic options, get a link to the documentation, get some code snippets. But it's just nice to be able to like have an app where like, I wonder how a date picker works in Swift UI. And then you could just launch it and find the date picker and play around with it. And then you go, okay. And then you have an idea how to get that into your application. It's really, really great. And again, it's free, completely free. I even think it's like open source, or it's based off an open source project. It's good. It's really good. It's really good. If you're even just curious about what kind of stuff that Swift UI provides, it's just neat. It's neat. You can see all the pieces there.
Interesting.
So,
and it gives you the little code snippet there. Huh.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's great. Okay, so
what problem did this solve for you?
it's just nice. So you can look at the documentation and stuff, but being able to actually see what it looks like and like touch it, and having like some of the stuff has like, you can change the styles to see what, like, if like, again, for like date picker, what it looks like when it's in single date mode versus multiple date mode, the different styles, and being able to quickly go through them so you can see what compact versus graphical looks like, all those different options. It's just nice to be able to very quickly be able to see what is possible. Because sometimes, like, I like Swift UI, but it's not always the most discoverable framework.
Mm-hmm.
If you've done programming and you're like kind of familiar with like the quote unquote fluent style of programming, where you have methods that like chain off of each other,
mm-hmm.
Swift UI loves that. So sometimes it can be like, I don't know what's even possible with this thing. Because I hit dot to type a method, and now there are thousands of them, and I don't know which ones are relevant and which ones not. So it's just nice to have a catalog of everything that's in the toolbox. Like there are some controls I didn't know that even existed. I don't need them, but they're there. It's great. I really, really like this app. So the other one's a little bit more complicated to explain.
All right.
So when you are developing iOS or iPad apps, you have two options to run and test your application. The first one is obvious: your own device, right?
Mhm.
You can associate your device with your developer account. It shows up as a target inside of Xcode, and you can say run, and it builds the app, and it copies to your phone, attaches to debugger, launches it. It's great. But the problem with that is it's that process of copying the application to your phone is a little, it's not slow, but it takes time, and then you have to go and grab your phone and hold it, and while you're trying to also debug, so you have to keep picking up and putting on down your phone. And I mean, it's good because you actually get to like touch the app and use it the way that the people are going to use it, and it's very important. But the other option is what they call the simulator. And basically, that's a fake phone in your computer.
Sure. I've heard of that.
Yeah. So basically, you can say like, hey, I want to run it on iPhone 14, running iOS 18.2, and it makes you a copy of that phone that you can, it's not full featured, doesn't have all of the apps that iOS has, but it has enough of the settings that you would want to care about, and you can get the app up and running relatively quickly. And it's great for like running unit tests or doing quick little things to make sure stuff works. So you spend a lot of time using your app inside the simulator. What Rocket Sim does, this is not a free app. This is $40 a year.
Wow.
But what it does is, since that simulator is running on your computer, it can do all kinds of interesting stuff with it. So to highlight a few of the features, and I'll talk about the ones I really, really like. It's got, you can hook up a network inspector. So any network request your app makes, it just logs them, right? So it basically hooks into the frameworks inside the simulator and watches for network requests. You can very easily do things like change accessibility settings. So if you want to, obviously, one of the big features of iOS is dynamic text sizes. If you're blind like me, you can make your text a little bigger. Well, you can go into Rocket Sim, which basically it runs as a little floating window that kind of like sits beside the simulator. Well, there's basically a slider of all the different text sizes, and you can just grab it and make it bigger and make it smaller and watch how your app dynamically changes as the text get bigger. It does great stuff where you can put like rulers down. So you basically drops like these red horizontal vertical lines, so you can make sure that things are all aligned, and it's good. I was doing some very interesting stuff with some animations, which is, as the UI changes, instead of just going like from one state to another, you can very easily do animations in Swift UI where it kind of changes. And I was having a very small, it just didn't look exactly right. Something was weird. And one of the things you can do is you basically say slow animations. And I don't know what it does, but it turns it from like running at 60 frames a second to 2 frames a second.
So you can actually see it happening.
Slowly watch the animation, and then immediately it's like, oh, I know what I was doing wrong.
Oh, wow.
You can zoom into it. You can take screenshots. You can do recordings. One of the things this has not helped me at all, mostly out of curiosity. So I use Swift data, which sits on top of core data, which is basically like an object persistence framework. You don't have to worry about you just have model objects, and you say, here, iOS, you figure out how to save those to disk.
Do that.
You do that. And it will do like iCloud syncing and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a SQLite database hidden in a folder in the simulator. Well, Rocket Sim basically monitors and goes, okay, these are the last 4 simulators you used, and here's their entire folder structure. So I can very easily go in there, get to the SQLite database, open it up in a database browser, and see like did what I did actually save? did it do the thing I thought it was going to do? And write some SQL queries and pull the data out and go, yep, it did the right thing.
And this just plugs right into Xcode.
Yeah, so it basically watches, and like it's anytime a simulator starts running, it wakes up and just starts doing its thing. Yeah, it even tracks like build times, so you can see whether your like build's getting slower or faster. Yeah, so it actually makes, in a lot of ways, it makes using the simulator better than actually using a real device. Now, you still want to be able to like, considering that, touchscreen devices, people are going to be pawing at it with their big old sausage fingers. So you do want to like play with, actually run it on the device and use it and see how things are going. But Rocket Sim just makes it so, makes the simulator just so much better. Apple should just buy them and just include.
I was going to say this. It seems like there's so many features here.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah.
The network request, airplane mode, the ability to network speed control, like so many interesting test scenarios, right?
Yeah. And like he's constantly adding new features. I think it's like a single developer, and he's adding new features all the time. Some of them I care about, some of them I don't. But he's got this, where is it? He's got a screen where basically he has like a list of features he's thinking about making, and you can vote on them. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So like the most voted on feature is simulator camera. Using your Mac's camera as input for the simulator camera to allow testing of camera functionality in the simulator. Because right now, the camera doesn't work in the simulator. It doesn't work. If you launch a camera, you just get black screen. And it's another great thing that's really useful. If your app does anything with permissions, like asking permissions to do anything, like asking permission to use the camera, you can easily in Rocket Sim reset those decisions without having to go into settings. You can just go and say, or you can just go and say, hey, pretend like you're launching for the first time. So you can test those prompts again to see, how you're asking for permissions. It's good. It's really good. It's really good. It's one of those things where like I wasn't sure about spending $40, and then there was like a trial, like a 7-day trial. And by the end of the 7 days, I was like, please take my money. just do it. I don't know how I ever lived without this thing. Yeah.
Did he open source this?
No, it's not. I don't think it's open source.
I'm on his GitHub, Rocket Sim app. Oh, it might just be documentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. It's just a documentation GitHub for people to submit issues and stuff.
Yeah.
Huh.
But it's a really, really good app. I
mean, he's got a lot of closed issues.
Yeah.
He's very, very active on here. Wow.
Yeah. Constantly. Yeah. Like there's constantly new features or bug fixes. Yeah. It's got a nice like onboarding video where he shows you the basics of how to use the application. And it's also great. Like even just something as stupid as going, are those two UI elements actually aligned, or are they almost aligned? And being able to actually drop a ruler and go, oh, yep, I did it, is real nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really good app. Really good app. Whatever your name is that made this app.
He's from the Netherlands.
Mr. Sim, Mr. Rocket Sim. Yeah.
Wow.
Tim Rocket Sim, that's his name. It's really good. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
That's pretty cool, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's really interesting. I've seen the simulator before, so it's interesting that somebody looked at that and said, I can do better, and then built all this and hooked it into Xcode.
Yeah, and Apple should just buy them. Just buy it. Just back up the money track and buy it, and just make it part of the simulator, because it is absolutely incredible.
But you know what's interesting? The fact that he's using like iPhone pictures and stuff in his app, Apple's the kind of company to be like, stop doing that, and just like threaten with legal action, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like what Reddit did to Apollo.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So how is the app coming?
It's coming along. I've learned that it is very hard to make an application that requires a lot of like entry, like data entry into the app. So trying to get that to not want to throw up in my mouth. But I'm almost at the point now where I'm going to start working on the screens that like walk you through like actually brewing an application. I'm very excited for that. So I have some ideas.
Okay.
It's also kind of exciting for me personally, because there's all these rumors about iOS 19 kind of tweaking the visual design.
What do you mean?
And so yeah, okay. Yeah, so apparently iOS 19 is going to get a pretty significant. Well, actually, iOS 19, iPad, the next version of all their operating systems is getting kind of a UI refresh. Apparently, it's going to be more use of translucency. Instead of buttons just being like generic text, buttons are going to look like buttons again. It's going to use like even like round up the round rectness of iOS a little bit more, make those corners a little bigger. You can find some mock-up videos of people who've claimed that they've seen it. It's just a very like interesting new way of it's not a huge redesign. It's not like iOS 7 where they made everything like super thin, but it's kind of just a new coat of paint. And
iOS 19 to have some of the biggest design changes in iPhone history.
Yeah. So because of that, I did something that I never thought I would ever do. Dub is June 9th through 13th, and I took that week off of work, so I'm gonna experience. I'm not going to Dub.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to enjoy, because it's primarily a virtual event. I mean, yeah, they do sell some tickets, but like all of the sessions and stuff are virtual. But I took that week off, so I'm gonna watch all the videos as they come out and try to get ahead of this and see what makes sense for my app, and maybe kind of give it a little modern UI redesign to match iOS 19. So
okay.
Dub. Yeah, I'm doing Dub.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You took off work to do work.
I did exactly. I took off work to do work. Yeah.
Very cool. I'm so excited. So
yeah.
Okay, last question. Like percent wise, where do you think you're at?
Maybe 40% of the way done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah. I can't wait to see it.
There's some big features I still need to add. Like the bones, all the bones are there. The bones are there. It's got good bones. Except
I don't know. I don't know if we can beat the other title, but
yeah, I'll do that crasher. I was just I said this on Blue Sky. I was just ready to take my laptop and chuck it in the middle of the lake. Just be like, I'm done with this. I'm gonna farm. I'm gonna raise chickens and cows.
I'm done with computers.
I'm done with computers. Yep.
So okay. So don't leave the listeners hanging. What was the cause of the crash?
Okay, so I'll try to explain this without trying to get super technical. So I was working on the part where you basically are like adding steps to your brew recipe. And essentially like each of these steps is in a list, and you can scroll down and you can resort them and you can delete them and whatever. So Swift UI has this notion of what they call a binding. And a binding is, so say, okay, for example, say I have a recipe and then it has a collection of steps, okay? And all of those steps have different properties depending on whether it's a step that controls how hot the water is or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you have to give the user a way to update those values. So a very simple thing is, say you had like a name field. Well, you would bind that name field to a text field, and then as they changed it, it updates that property on in your data, and so you can save it and use it forever. I have learned that so I have a collection of steps, and I would delete one of them. It hated that.
Man, that sounds like a linked list problem to me.
It hated it because what would happen is that items, essentially, if you're super nerdy, right, the steps it's an array, right, and there's a for each in the Swift UI. So like for each of these items, here's the UI to present, and it gives it makes it easy to like reorder stuff, and technically it makes it easy to delete. But I would remove the item from the array, but Swift UI was still like, hey, fuckface, you still have bindings to that, and I am not happy about that. And it would just hard crash. So I was trying to figure out all these different ways around it, and what I ended up having to do was not the cleanest code I've ever written in my life, but it did really force me to like dig into like how Swift UI manages identity and how the view lifecycle works. And like, if you don't have a binding, this would have worked just great. It wouldn't have exploded. But since I did have bindings, actual UI that you can edit, it required me to make some concessions to get it to not to explode. But like, it was just like I tried so many things, and I'd be like because it didn't crash all the time. It was one of those things where like, maybe if you did it, like it would crash like 1 out of 3 times. So it wasn't like super, which was surprising to me. It's like, why did that crash? It didn't crash this time. And like I'd make a change and I'd feel really good about it, and I'd go to like reorder steps, and it would just go boom. And like, there are some crashes in Swift that are basically like, you can't deal with this. This is so bad. We're just going to give you we're going to show you in the debugger, you done fucked up and it was right here, but tough shit. The app is crashing, and it's going to crash now. Middle fingers. Goodbye. Yeah, it took me so long to figure it out, and and I had to get all the little things working again, like reordering steps, and it was just a huge giant pain in the ass. But not only did I fix it, I think I understand why it was happening, and I think I know why my fix solved it. I think. So, but I was just like. Again, like I just like done. I'm done. I'm gonna buy a pickup truck. I'm gonna join Truck Gang.
Yeah,
and just move in the middle of the woods.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, man,
and be done. So
yeah, get rid of your pussy hybrid and get yourself a truck.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
well, buddy, this is exciting. I hadn't had an app update in a while. These new tools seem good. You're still out there solving problems. See, you still got it. You can still do this.
I still can do this. Yeah.
I'm excited to try this new podcast recording next week. So let's end here, and maybe we give a little salute to Skype, and maybe we never have to open it again.
Skype, I would say that I would miss you, but I won't. I mean, we're all the Bitcoin bros. Reach out to me, if not Skype. Anywho, you can find us on the internet, doingtheirbest.com. You can find all the show notes, all the links, everything you want right there. And hey, thanks for listening.